Najib Razak, the former Prime Minister of Malaysia, has left an incredible mark on the country's political and economic landscape. His rise to power was marked by ambition, strategic alliances, and a desire to modernize and transform Malaysia's economy. As most Malaysians know, his administration tenure was marked by both transformation and disaster. Najib Razak was born into a political family in Malaysia in 1953. He studied economics and industrial management at the University of Nottingham in the United Kingdom and returned to Malaysia to begin his political career. He rose through the ranks of the ruling party, the United Malays National Organization, and held various positions in government before being appointed as the Deputy Prime Minister in 2004. Najib became the Prime Minister of Malaysia in 2009, succeeding Abdullah Badawi. His tenure was marked by ambitious economic policies and initiatives, such as the New Economic Model and the Economic Transformation Program, aimed at transforming Malaysia into a high-income developed economy. The NEM aimed to transform Malaysia into a high-income and knowledge-based economy, with a focus on innovation, productivity, and competitiveness. The NEM also sought to address issues of income inequality and promote inclusive growth, while the ETP was aimed to attract more foreign investment into the country and promote the growth of high-value industries such as biotechnology, green technology, and healthcare. As a result of these efforts, Malaysia's GDP growth rate increased from 4.7% in 2009 to 6.5% in 2004. Another key policy initiative that Najib Razak pursued was the implementation of the Goods and Services Tax in 2015. The GST was aimed at broadening Malaysia's tax base and reducing its reliance on income tax revenues. Despite initial opposition to the GST, it was successful in increasing government revenue and improving the country's fiscal position. Najib Razak also made efforts to strengthen Malaysia's trade relations with other countries. In 2012, he signed the Malaysia-Australia Free Trade Agreement, which aimed to increase trade and investment between the two countries. Malaysia also joined the Trans-Pacific Partnership in 2015, which aimed to reduce trade barriers between 12 Pacific Rim countries. There was significant investment in infrastructure development. He was known for his ambitious plans to build infrastructure, as evidenced by his partnership with China. Under Najib Razak's tenure, the Belt and Road Initiative brought in billions of dollars in Chinese investment to the Malaysian economy. Coupled with infrastructure, Najib has also implemented various subsidies for Malaysian citizens. The One Malaysian program, designed in 2009, was in part connected to the 1MDB, but it is also connected to several programs that have helped push for social equality and economic benefits to Malaysian citizens. One Malaysia has helped push public services and medical clinics to community Wi-Fi, to non-governmental organizations, and a long list of others. The rise of Najib Razak has brought about significant economic growth and development in Malaysia, with policies and initiatives aimed at attracting foreign investment and driving economic expansion. Under his leadership, Malaysia's gross domestic product grew at an average rate of 5.3% per year from 2009 to 2017, driven largely by the manufacturing and service sectors. Likewise, Najib Razak's tenure saw stable inflation rates ranging from 1 to 3%, suggesting how effective Najib's fiscal and monetary policies are being sought after under his administration. But one should also be wary of such figures. For the most part, Najib Razak has entered Malaysia just after the global financial crisis of 2008, which suggests that the figures may have been enjoying the rebounding effect of a global recession. Now, Najib Razak's economic policies were not without controversy. His administration was accused of corruption and mismanagement, particularly in relation to the 1MDB scandal. The scandal was involved in the misappropriation of funds from a state-owned investment fund and led to widespread protests and criticisms of Najib Razak's leadership. The 1MDB scandal all started when Najib established a state-owned investment fund in 2009 to promote economic development through strategic investments. It was rejoiced to boost Malaysia's economy, investing in energy, real estate, and infrastructure. The basic idea was that these investments would generate substantial returns, which could then be reinvested into further economic development development initiatives. However, while it did invest in key areas, it eventually became embroiled in allegations of corruption, fraud, and embezzlement, which eventually led to its collapse and the country's largest financial scandal. The 1MDB scandal involved the siphoning of billions of dollars from the fund by Najib and his associates, who used the money for personal gain and to fund lavish lifestyles. The scandal caused a massive outcry in Malaysia and led to investigations by multiple law enforcement agencies around the world. It also raised serious concerns about the state of governance and the corruption in Malaysia. Research has shown that the 1MDB scandal had a significant impact on Malaysia's economy. A report by the World Bank estimated that the scandal could have cost Malaysia up to 1.5% of GDP growth in 2015 and 2016. The report also highlighted the negative effects of corruption on economic development, including reduced investment, slower economic growth, and increased inequality. Najib Razak's corruption and mismanagement of the economy had far-reaching consequences for Malaysia, including the erosion of public trust in government institutions and the loss of investor confidence. The scandal also exposed the need for stronger anti-corruption measures and better governance in Malaysia. The aftermath of the 1MDB scandal shook Malaysia to its core. The country is left with a staggering debt of over $10 billion USD, which has been used to fund Najib's lavish lifestyle and political projects. The economic impact of this scandal was felt throughout the country, with the Malaysian ringgit losing value and the country's credit rating taking a hit. In response to the scandal, Najib's opponents in the government and civil society groups began to call for his resignation. Protests erupted across the country, with thousands taking to the streets, demanding accountability and justice for the corruption that had taken place. In May of 2018, Najib was defeated in a stunning upset by the opposition party in Malaysia's general election. The new government, led by Prime Minister Mahathir Mohamad, made it a priority to investigate the 1MDB scandal and hold those responsible accountable for their actions. The investigation uncovered widespread corruption and financial misconduct, resulting in a number of high-profile arrests, including that of Najib himself. Najib was charged with multiple counts of corruption, money laundering, and abuse of power. In July of 2020, he was found guilty on all charges and sentenced to 12 years in prison and a hefty fine. Furthermore, Najib Razak's main controversy has always been due to 1MDB. It's worth noting that Najib Razak has far more than just the 1MDB. It is reported that Najib Razak was connected to several crackdowns on opposition, which are highly important in Malaysia's democratic era. There have been reports on the erosion of freedom of speech and civil liberties. Another key issue was Najib Razak's push for a relationship with China. There's no doubt that China's money has helped push for several infrastructures and foreign investment projects in Malaysia. It is still known that there have been concerns regarding the threat to Malaysia's traditional ties with the United States, and as these Chinese-led deals are fraught with weak transparency and debt burdens. Finally, some other areas of controversy include environmental issues and controversial appointments to his administration. All of these have been forgotten due to the enormous destruction that the 1MDB brought to Malaysian society. The fall of Najib and the subsequent investigation and trial sent a powerful message to the people of Malaysia that corruption would not be tolerated, no matter how powerful the individual or organization may be. While the country is still grappling with the economic impact of the scandal, the accountability and transparency measures put in place by the new government have given Malaysians renewed hope for a brighter future. As the sun set on Najib Razak's career, Malaysia's economy was left in shambles. The once promising leader who built Malaysia into a vibrant and prosperous nation had succumbed to corruption and greed, ultimately leading to his downfall. But anyway, do let us know what you think. Thanks for watching.